conventional way. Now, I'm a proponent of permaculture, sustainable agriculture, food forests, that kind of thing. But in conventional agriculture, it's a mining operation. What do I mean by mining? Well, they use plants to pull minerals and nutrients out of the soil, and then they export that away. And over time, the soils become completely depleted of virtually all nutrition. Now, if they do this over and over again enough, eventually you can't grow new plants, right? The plants would die. So they add only 3 nutrients back in, right? NPK, those are fertilizers. Only 3. Well, how many minerals are there? Well, there's at least 72 that you need, but they only put 3 in the food. So you're lacking 69 minerals at least, probably more, that function in your brain and your nervous system. If you're not getting those minerals through some kind of a supplement, or you're not eating organic food that's grown in a mineral-rich soil, you're lacking those minerals. And what happens when you lack these minerals? Not only does your brain function suffer, but look at this. If you lack selenium, your rates of cancer go up. If you lack zinc, you will catch flus in the winter more easily. Also, if you lack zinc, your skin won't heal as quickly after a scratch or a wound or a cut of some kind. It's crucial for skin healing. If you lack magnesium, you might have heart palpitations. You might have leg cramps if you lack magnesium. Magnesium is required for your body to relax its muscles, every muscle, including your heart. You might lack a high quality calcium, although normally we get enough calcium in our diets, but some people lack calcium, and you might have heart problems from that as well. These minerals are absolutely crucial. And a plant, you know how a plant can synthesize a vitamin? A plant can make vitamin, a B vitamin, let's say. Or a plant can synthesize a phytonutrient, such as an anthocyanin, for example, which protects the eyes. But a plant cannot synthesize a mineral. You can't just create zinc out of nothing. Zinc, it has to come from the soil. If it's not there, the plant can't make it. So if the soils don't have the zinc, your food doesn't have the zinc, and your body doesn't have the zinc. I want to drive this point home very strongly. What powers your brain? What is really the fuel for your brain? It's your blood, right? It's what's in your blood. Your brain is floating in a pool of blood, and that blood is moving through all the time. Your brain uses a lot of your glucose, a lot of your fuel. Well, if you think about a car engine or a truck engine, if you have a gasoline engine, it needs to run on highly refined, clean gas. If you feed that engine really bad gas, what happens to the engine? It sputters. It has more pollution, it won't start, maybe your performance goes down, your gas mileage goes down. Well, the same thing's true with your brain. If your blood is not pristine, your brain function takes a nosedive, just like a gasoline engine, if you accidentally threw some kerosene in there, something like that. Your brain runs on your blood. We can all agree on that. Look, even if everything that I said so far, if you didn't agree with it, let's say, which is okay, we can all agree that the brain runs on your blood. And what is your blood made of? Your blood is made of 100% of what you eat and drink and absorb through your skin. 100%. And your blood is being remanufactured every day. Every day. In fact, every time you urinate, you're eliminating old blood. Did you know that? Your kidneys filter out your old blood cells and it goes down the tubes. And you're making new blood. But what are you making new blood out of? Whatever you had for breakfast. If you had breakfast at Denny's, or, I don't know, big Happy Meal somewhere, you're having processed food blood. And your processed food blood is powering your brain, which becomes a processed food brain, which doesn't work as well as it should. Just think about these biological connections. They really, this is scientific fact. And it's very easy to see a difference. So if you start getting healthy food, you'll have healthy blood, you'll have a healthy brain function, healthy organs. You'll begin to have healthier thinking. Your relationships will actually improve. Your mood will stabilize. Really, if you've ever known somebody who is really, really moody, there's a dietary link there. Junk food, processed sugars, refined wheat. They call it enriched wheat. It's legally required to be enriched because they took so much out of it that it might kill you if they didn't put something back in. That's how depleted it is. People who eat those kinds of things tend to be less emotionally stable. But think about the survival context of where we are here again. If we have a crisis, do you think emotional stability is crucial for your survival? You bet it is. You don't have time to argue. You don't have time for yourself to lose control. You can't get angry, you can't panic, you can't freak out. You have to be cool and steady with total control over your own thinking, your own actions, so that you can make the right choices. And those choices may be life and death choices. You may be dealing, see, here's another thing. Most of us in this room are going to be prepared. We are the survivors of whatever comes our way. And by the way, I'm quite honored to be here among you, because I'm looking at the future of the Texas population right now. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who are not going to make it in certain kinds of crises. I mean, we saw that with the Hurricane Katrina. There were a lot of fatalities. Sadly, they weren't as prepared as many of us in this room, and they got hit by a big hurricane. Luck can also be a factor in this. Bad luck or good luck. But we're going to make it. We're prepared. But we may be dealing with refugees. Lots of refugees who are coming out of the cities, coming out of Houston, coming out of Dallas, coming out of Austin, and heading out into the country because they need water, they need food, they need emergency medicine. They're nice people. You can't just hang back in your bunker with a rifle and start shooting refugees. No, that mentality's not going to work. You have to intelligently deal with the situation. How can we help as many people as possible and protect our own safety and our own family? How do we find that balance? That's going to take this working well, not being emotional, not being angry. We've got to be able to have that what?
And this working well.
What?
Prayer.
Oh, and prayer. Thank you. Thank you. Asking for guidance. Absolutely. We've got to be able to allow that guidance to function through us. That's a really good point to mention, because we talk about spirit sometimes. We talk about free will. We talk about the soul. We talk about consciousness. All of that is interpreted by the brain. All of it. If you get a message, if you get some guidance from the non-physical realm, where does that message appear in your awareness? It appears in your brain. It comes to you as a vision or a voice or an idea or an emotion. Your brain is still processing that, so that means your brain needs that clarity. And only from that clarity can you then make the right decisions for your family, for your community, for those refugees that you might need to save their lives too. There's going to be a lot of them. A lot of people are not here. A lot of people are not prepared. There's going to be a lot of refugees. We've got to help them to the extent that we can. We can't deplete all of our resources so that we become a refugee, but we have to help as many of the others as we can. I believe that is the right thing to do, and I intend to do that. I don't know how I got off on that subject, but getting back to brain boosting mineralization is where we left off. The next most important thing to protect your brain function and protect your neurology and make sure you can deal with stress appropriately is to grow your own food and eat it. Grow your own medicinal herbs. Grow your own blueberries. You could grow blueberries here in Texas. Blueberries are a very neuroprotective berry. They protect your eyesight. They help you have better night vision. That's kind of cool. Night vision with no batteries. You have better night vision if you eat more carrots and you eat more blueberries. It's true. Absolutely true. You'll have better brain function if you eat more food out of your garden. And again, that's because if you're growing parsley or cilantro or sage or oregano or whatever you happen to be growing, those pungent herbs, the really rich ones, those are loaded with essential oils. Those are loaded with phytonutrients, and those get absorbed into your blood and go to your brain and go to your tissues, and they support your healthy function. They actually help you resist disease. You know what I think the next crisis might be is really a pandemic. A biological pandemic, either accidental or intentional. I don't know which scenario is more likely, but bioweapons are out there. Even if you believe the whole war on terrorism, explanation, maybe the terrorists are going to have bioweapons. I don't know. But I do know this, if you eat food out of your garden, you're going to be protected against all kinds of infectious disease. And as a true story on that, remember SARS in China? I flew to Taiwan. I used to live there for a while. I lived in different places all around the world, South America, Taiwan, and so on. But I flew into Taiwan during the SARS crisis, right in the middle of it, where when you get off the airplane, at the airport in Taiwan,